Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Tyler.
Nick is unable to be with us this week, so we have our awesome movie cohort, Derek Adams, here with us. He should be with us all through October. We got 4 weeks of horror movies coming at you, so be scared and be ready
to hear us talk about movies.
Yeah.
That'll make you scared.
It's super scared.
So scared you wet your pants.
So scared you wet your friend's pants.
So scared you wet your mom's pants.
Your mom's... I was going to make... So moving on, before that got weird.
Before it goes way too crazy.
We decided to do horror comedy this week. And for those of you that don't know, that's horror movies with comedy appeal to them. And our choices this week, we had Cabin in the Woods, kind of a newer film. We had Slither, like 10 years old, something like that.
Yeah,
we got Life After Beth, and...
Tucker and
Dale. I was trying to think if it was Dale or Tucker. Tucker.
We're probably going to mix
Dale.
that up, so forgive us, sinners. We're probably going to mix it up.
It's Tucker, Dale, and verse Evil.
Yeah.
Tucker
and Dale and Evil are all in the mix.
Right, with verses between the two names and the non-pronoun.
Yeah. There's a storm going on, so if you can hear the thunder, it's, just something we can't control.
Just adds to the scary effect. Ooh. And so... With Derek being our guest this week, I will have him pick which movie he would love to go. Whether you hated it, whether you loved it, just let me somewhere in the middle.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a lot of defending this episode because these are 4 movies that I am in love with, and I know Can I go ahead and make a prediction on the order in which you guys like these?
All right, fortune telling Tyler. Let's do this.
Okay, I'm going to start with you,
okay,
Chris.
All right, my order.
Obviously, you put Cabin in the Woods at the top.
Yes.
Going down next, I'm going to say... This one's tricky, because I know where the bottom is. This is where I really have to decide, and I'm going to assume, since it is the better movie, that you put Tucker and Dale versus Evil next.
No, actually I didn't.
Oh, Slither then, huh?
Yeah, I did.
And then, so Slither, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and then Life After Beth. Derek?
Cinamen Tyler's pretty good, guys.
I'm going to say... You... Just like... gut reaction, Slither screams the top for me, for you.
Is it Cabin in the Woods top for you?
Cabin in the Woods, yeah.
Cabin in the Woods is the top for you.
What, is it Slither next?
Slither is next. Slither is number 2 for me.
And then obviously Tucker and Dale.
And then Tucker and Dale.
So me and Derek are the same.
I will put Life After Beth at the bottom of mine, so I am the same as you guys in that respect, but I definitely did like it more than you, I'm sure.
Probably.
Top of my list is the clear winner, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I don't know how you guys put that so low on your list.
We're gonna have something to talk about, man.
That's weird. It was third for both of you, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, man, it's so sad.
We'll get to it.
It's on my 10 favorite movies list.
I'll give you this. It was a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Whoa.
I enjoyed it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I got Tucker and Dale, Slither, Cabin in the Woods, Life After Beth.
Okay. All right. Well, at least the last one's the same. So we're send a high five for that.
You want to start where we agree then?
Derek, like I said, it's up to you. Which one you want to...
Cabin in the Woods, let's do it.
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, that's not where we all agree, but we'll start there. Cabin in the Woods.
So Derek and I, and you like this movie as well. It's just not at the top.
I like all 4 of these movies.
Right. Okay. So we're good there.
Yeah, I love these movies.
Cabin in the Woods came out 2014, I believe, or 2015.
It definitely wasn't 15. I was thinking.
I think it was 14.
I was thinking it was 14 as well.
13 or 14, I think.
Written by Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard, directed by Drew Goddard, and he's kind of like he's a real big popular sci-fi nerdy screenwriter as well.
He's very much.
He had a hand in Daredevil on TV. It was 2012. Well, sinners.
Okay, well, good thing we're wrong.
Yeah, there you go. But
I don't think it was released until later. I think it came out. I think it was made that time, but it didn't get released until later. I thought.
I don't know.
April 13th, 2012. That's like even halfway through the year. That's not even.
It's like 4 years ago.
Jeez.
So it stars Chris Hemsworth. It's got
no one else
of notable name. Well, Sigourney Weaver at the very end, if you want to. Richard. Yeah, spoilers. Heavy spoilers coming your way, sinners. Richard Jenkins is in it. Who's that other guy that was his partner?
Bradley Whitford.
Bradley Whitford.
Who was the? Oh God, the blonde-headed girl.
I don't know.
Jules, I think.
I don't know any of their names.
Anna Hutchinson.
Anna Hutchinson. I think.
She's been in Power Rangers.
What?
Jungle Fury. That's why we didn't know.
Yeah, does anyone watch that? Anyway, so it's about these 5 friends. They have decided to go to the main guy, Chris Hemsworth. His cousin has a log cabin. And there's a lot of questions about this movie that don't get answered, which is my only problem with this movie, I think.
Did that cabin remind you guys of the Evil Dead cabin?
Very.
It did, but I was going to say there's a lot of like
minor.
And you know what?
Things in there.
Well, you know what's
movie.
funny is Slither even does the like creeping through the forest effect. I don't know if you guys saw that. I've seen that movie a million times, and that's the first time I really picked up.
Are you talking about the very beginning, almost, which like
where the alien comes down and then it does like.
It's misleading because you think it's a monster, and then it's like, oh wait, the monster hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Because I forgot, Because that's what I was
well,
like,
it is. It's the little worm thing, and it like.
Well, he's saying like the point of view of the camera.
Yeah, the point of view looks like it's a monster,
like a monster.
and then it just zooms down, and it's the monster hasn't even come out yet. So it's more like cool shaky effect for what reason, But
because
I'm not gonna knock it.
It was kind of fast paced too. Like it went through the forest pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock it. It's like I said, it's just one shot, and I'm probably the guy that's misreading it instead of the scene misleading me. But no big deal. So Cabin in the Woods. These 5 friends go to this vacation home.
Now you're talking about Tucker and Dale. It's a cabin.
This is like every horror movie when they go to some vacation home.
Basically the same.
Some kind of weird stuff starts happening. I'll get to the more meta part of this movie here in a minute. But the base plot, then this cabin, the cellar door flies open, of course, on its own. Mm-hmm. They go down. It's rigged with. It's got a bunch of shit down there, some ancient looking shit, like some antiquities, stuff like that.
Just like random objects.
They're all kind of messing with an object or two. And
they end up reading the diary of some little girl.
Little girl whose dad murdered their whole family at that little lake house or whatever. It's really creepy. They go upstairs. The main guy, Chris Hemsworth, and the main hot chick, Anna something or other, the blonde, that's the one. They go off to get it on, like every horror movie. And all of a sudden, zombies attack, more or less.
Wasn't it mutant zombie?
Oh yeah, he did say
torture redneck mutant zombies or some junk.
Yeah, some shit like.
There's a difference of those because there could have been zombies. It could have been regular zombies.
I got zombies.
And so
no, you got regular zombies.
This whole plot is what we find out set up by this group of people that
it's an organization who work for.
And it's hard to say because this is where I say there's not a lot of questions that got answered. So. Describing it leaves a lot of openness.
So what do you think is open about it?
Well, I mean, we don't know what this group is called. They start off from the beginning when they leave the house. There's a guy watching them. Was the cousin real of Chris Hemsworth? Was he real? If he was, how did he get this? You know what I'm saying? How did he get this cabin?
Maybe it was. Oh, you're right.
I'm saying they just pick 5 people and are like, hey. Get those 5, and they're going to go to the cabin.
What I assume, and maybe that's just...
Because the guy is watching them as they go on the trip.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me reaching, but I feel like they probably sent something in the mail that was like, hey, your cousin died, and he left you this cabin.
But because pretty much at the very end, the girl and the stoner are sitting right next to each other.
The virgin and the fool.
Yeah, and she straight up just goes, I don't think he had a cousin.
Yeah.
And that's kind of... I just took that as the assumption as the government set it up or whatever.
I thought that too. And the fact that Chris Hemsworth, he kind of spoke up for the cousin when the guy was like, man, your cousin collects a lot of weird shit. And he's like, I don't think this is my cousin's or, I don't, whatever. And it's like, well, do you know how much you know about your cousin?
Maybe you just got a phone call from the, quote, cousin.
From the, I know what you did last summer too, or I still know what you did last summer. They got this fake call from that company won this contest with the wrong fucking answer.
They get a fake call from a radio company, and it turns out to be the killer trying to set them up for a trap. And they
it's like, what's the capital of Thailand? And
they misnamed Rio or something.
I was like,
it was really bad.
A bunch of idiots. Come on, guys.
Why wouldn't they just give them an easier question?
I thought it was pretty easy, but they botched it. But with maybe the cousin was in on it too, I mean, hell, I don't know.
Yeah,
the way this
I don't
whole
know.
thing
Like
works,
I said, it's a lot of the outside stuff that I don't like about the movie. But as opposed to the main movie, you find out this organization sends people to this cabin to sacrifice them, more or less, to gods.
Yes.
Big, huge, ancient, real Wrath of God type shit.
Like primordial type beings.
Yeah, huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything, you find out everything down in the basement that they were messing with triggers one monster / being / thing to kill them from like this like cages of these things filled underground. I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit. What do you remember seeing? There's like a giant spider, giant snake.
Giant snake.
There's like a group of people that look like they're out of like the Purge, wearing those like masks.
Wearing the masks.
There's a lot of crazy shit.
The
too.
girl with the teeth face.
Ooh, yeah, that was crazy too.
The merman.
Ooh, yeah, the mermaids. That was
things
crazy.
flying around.
Mermaids.
There's
Yeah,
tons
there's
of things.
flying shit. There's a bunch of crazy shit. Like they got everything you can imagine and then some.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so, like they're releasing like pheromones into like these people's cabins to make them go certain ways because each of the 5 people are reflective of something.
Yeah, basically for the ritual to be complete, they need a jock, a whore,
A fool, a smart guy, and a virgin.
A fool, a scholar, and a virgin.
Or those somewhere close to those.
She says something in the end like, we work with what we got. Because
She's
the virgin...
like, virgin? Or what makes you think I'm a virgin? And she's like, we work with what we got.
Which seems like, I don't think gods would take substitutions. And whoever wrote the script, couldn't they just have made her a virgin?
Well, see, that was another thing, too. Even...
how hard would it, just like a couple clicks on the keyboard?
Because they lay the virgin stuff heavy on you. Like Hemsworth makes a joke like, maybe you can de-virginize,
What's her name?
the redhead over here. I don't know the name of.
She could have just been a virgin.
Yeah, and she's kind of like on the fence, like, well, I don't. Oh, she had a thing with the teacher or something weird.
Yeah,
in the
she
beginning.
apparently slept with her professor
Yeah,
at college or something.
so you're like,
I don't know.
kind of a weird.
Yeah, she knew what it was.
The whole
she
weird
knew what
thing
she was
was-
dealing with.
Yeah.
Professor of anatomy. That must have been it.
Oh.
Shots fired.
Well, what was weird is one of the guys running like the computers downstairs. He said something about like how like it works vice versa. Like as long as she suffers, like she can either die or she can live.
So as long as everybody dies before her,
Yeah, and I was kind of like, wait, well, so if she was still to live,
it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
That's why. Well, they get inside the company. Yeah, the organization.
Three of the 5 are dead at this point. This is towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, so
3 of the 5 are dead.
So you got the fool and the virgin, and they release all of the beasts and all the killers and everything into the facility. And as people are dying, they're still telling her, make sure you kill him. Like, even if you live, as long as this guy dies, we're good.
She has to kill the fool, is what they're saying.
So basically, 4 of the 5 have to die, but nobody cares if the virgin dies as well.
Right, yeah, that's like the dessert at the end that you're like almost too full to eat, but you're like, oh, I paid for it. I should eat it. I should really. So it doesn't matter whether she eats or live.
Eats or lives.
Eats or dies. Yeah.
You mean lives or dies?
Lives or dies. What did I say?
You say eats or lives. Eats or dies.
I don't know. Whether
long
she
as she
lives or
eats,
dies, it does not matter. Yeah. So you guys like this movie? What? Like I said, you heard what I didn't like about it. Like these questions that don't apply to the movie. It's really just backstory to me. I like a lot of this movie. I like how the stuff was executed. Is there anything you guys didn't like about this
Honestly, I don't know if there's a whole lot I can really find that I don't like. Maybe nitpicky stuff like, kind of like what we were just talking about here. But other than that, nothing really. Like, I enjoyed it all the way through. Story was good. The meta story part of it was really good, too. I enjoyed it. I even enjoyed the cast.
The cast was cool.
Yeah, the cast worked really well.
The 5
for a
were
bunch of
cool.
no-names.
I like the fool.
The 2
best.
dudes. The fool was the best. By
Shaggy,
the way.
dude. He is-
Shaggy. He's pure Shaggy. Minus
he is
pot
perfect.
smoking because Shaggy doesn't do that.
Yes, he does.
Tyler, I will
we've
not.
got
do this.
into
I
this.
will not do this with you on here. He looks like Shaggy, and that's it.
Sinners, if you want to pick up on this, listen to our Ninja Turtles podcast.
Is that where we talked about
Is
it?
that where it
Yep.
was?
Yeah,
that was my first
I didn't even. I had no idea where it was.
That's
I just
pretty
knew.
good that he does because we don't. So Derek, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Cinamen sinners comment on Derek's ability to remember which podcast stuff happened.
His
in.
on the ballness.
Yeah, he's very on the ballness.
I had 2 problems with this movie.
Okay.
That I can think of. I'm sure there's more. Number 1, there were so many cool things in that facility. Why did we have to get zombies?
That is true. I was thinking about that as well.
Like, there's so many better options that we could have got than, like, a redneck zombie family.
There's a few of these options, that would turn it into like a cheesy horror film, like giant spider, giant snake. It's not freaking anacondas. It's not.
There was a cool
eight-legged
dragon.
freaks.
I don't know. There's
There's a lot of cool options. I'm with you though.
okay.
Like,
What if like we saw it from like the rituals of every other country, because other countries are doing this and they had all failed.
Ooh, yeah, that's where.
So it would have been
mention.
nice to see the other countries, and then like maybe one of the countries.
Like it showed the one I can think of is Japan. It showed,
Yeah.
and they had like some spirit demon girl, like trying to take
Some
on
grudge
like
looking
a
mother.
Yeah.
horde of schoolgirls almost.
Yeah.
Like this thing just got released in a classroom for some
Which
strange
which
fucking
which
reason.
makes you think that they don't have the same rules as far as the fool, the virgin, the.
Yeah.
So I
that
wonder
is
if
true.
that's like a lore kind of thing. Like America has a
I'll
different kind of history than Japan
maybe
does.
the
so
gods
they
are
have
different. Are they
Yeah.
the same gods?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, that's another thing.
No,
too,
because only
they-
one ritual has to work.
Yeah, and that's
Oh,
one
that's
thing I
true.
always thought was kind of weird. I'm like, well, if only one has to work, then why don't you just do one the whole time? Why do you gotta do?
Because
So many countries.
Because it's contingency plans.
I guess so, but there's
Ooh, that's
there's a
true,
lot
I
of stuff
guess.
though too that's really weird. Like in one of the screens that you see of like one of the failed countries, you see like some giant behemoth King Kong looking mother just like laying down in a pile of rubble. I'm like, how did you fail? You're like the biggest thing on there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Like, holy shit! Like, what did
What
you have
else?
down there that got killed? Because I'm not seeing many of those things that I would want to take on. Like,
But it also depends on who's taking it on, what kind of country.
that's true.
it
I
is.
guess if you're the bunch of the schoolgirls, you're like,
If you live in
well,
Africa and you're used to fighting lions all the time, and then
King Kong shows up, you're just like, bring it on.
big lion.
Yeah,
You know.
the game just stepped up a bit.
And that's another thing too. Can they die? Can these beings die? Because there's some beings in the facility that wouldn't die, but there were some that would. So
The fool had that one zombie like hacked in pieces, and it's still like
moving, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man.
It's a lot
But
of
they
questions.
There's just a
One-
lot of questions, yeah.
I really, really hate that they didn't. And I'd say most of the time with horror movies, it doesn't need a sequel, or it needs 8. Like Saw. But
it doesn't have one or it has too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I don't agree that Saw has too many. But
Ooh.
what I'm getting at is this is a horror movie that I would love to have seen a sequel from, and they totally didn't even leave it up for like a possibility of a sequel.
No, absolutely not.
So they have all these amazing monsters that could have come out in sequels, and like even since they let all the monsters out in the facility, that could have happened like 4 movies in. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they got overzealous and they liked the concept so much that they
Yeah.
had to.
Like they went big on the ending.
Yeah, and so obviously we said spoilers. This is your last chance to get out, but the world ends at the end of the movie. So
Literally, he's not kidding around with you guys. That is,
Yeah, the ancient ones
The-
like rise up and
because the fool was very selfish.
yeah. Explain the ending a little bit here. Sigourney Weaver comes out, and I don't know. You're to assume she is the head of
yeah, she's like
this,
the director of I guess
the God
She's
sacrifice.
the CEO.
Okay, yeah, there we go. She's kind of a top dog. It is down to the fool and the virgin, like we said. They're in like a sacrificial chamber, like kind of like directly above these gods. Sigourney Weaver comes in and she tells the fool, or she tells the virgin, I guess, kill him, kill one, your friend there, or we all die.
Doesn't she even like imply like even if you kill me, still kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
whatever
she's
you
very,
do,
like, whatever
you need to
do-
kill him.
Yeah. And so the guy tries to kill her. The
No.
fool, no.
No, she tries to kill
She
him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
him.
And
She gets
Wolfman.
Ooh, yeah, that's
The
right.
werewolf comes
Werewolf
out,
comes
over,
out.
attacks her because he's like, I think he turns around right at the time she's going to shoot, and then he sees the werewolf, doesn't say anything.
Well, he was like, he said something like "I'm sorry" or something.
Yeah, and then he mentioned something to her, and then like right after that, she gets like attacked, and then Sigourney Weaver I think goes after him.
I think
to
she's
try and
gonna
take him out.
try and kill him,
Uh-huh.
and then the chick, the virgin, kills Sigourney, and
no,
then
it was
The fool.
the fool.
no,
Did
it
he?
was the little zombie girl came up and like. The one that had like the missing
Oh,
arm or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, you're
She
right.
comes in
Yeah.
out of nowhere, out of the blue, and hacks her in the head. And then I think the fool kicks both of them off the
Yeah.
edge, and they just kind of tumble.
That's right. You're
And
right.
then like the fool and the virgin have like this final like, hey, sorry I tried to kill you. Sorry I tried to get you killed. Let's smoke this last snoochie boochie that I got here in my pocket.
and watch the world end.
Yeah, and then
She
like
could have still like pushed him over the edge and like saved humanity.
she could have, and it almost was been one of those like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I didn't think that was going to happen. So, but they just sit there, sinners, and you see this giant arm, like one of the gods, just like tear through the earth, like, "Rah!" And then you know that we lost. we lose. Game over, man.
Game over.
Game over. The Earth is at an end. Really well done movie. Very creative movie.
Very much so. Like, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a would-be, knockoff of like, Evil Dead or something, just like a typical horror movie. But when I started watching, I was like, man, this is really good. Like, the understory of it really drew me in.
I think I saw it in theaters, and I was like, am I in the right theater? Because you don't open up to the cabin in the woods storyline. You open up to the facility and getting things prepared for
which
the
is
sacrifice.
which is cool. Like, I like this company. They're overconfident, so they're throwing party. They have like a Deadpool or like a gamble going on to which monster it is that they're gonna release. Really a fun time with those two guys. And this chick's like, we gotta make sure because it's just Japan and us, and oh no, Japan failed, so it's just us. And they're like, hey,
we've been accident free since like 1993, and whose fault was that? What's it, the Kim department? Oh, we got this. Just keep up your end of the deal.
Look, we're professionals. We've been doing this for years. We got this.
What's really strange is, when it first opened up like that, I was like, did I do the right movie? Kind of like what you were saying. I was like, wait, what the hell? And then it came up on the screen. I was like, oh, okay, maybe there's a subtle story to this. And it just drew me in.
The title is, when you think, because I did not know what this was about before I watched it. I just heard that it was good. And so you're thinking like, oh, cabin in the woods. I kept thinking the cabin was like playing games, was going to like play games with them. Like they go into a room and they go back out, but it's not the same place. They just went in one of those. Like, like the cabin's a maze or it messes with them.
Yeah, like a puzzle maze or something.
Yeah. And instead what we got, I was like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool. Like such a simple concept and done so well.
And that was one thing I liked about it too. For a movie trying to either be a comedy and a horror at the same time, like they were able to split it up and keep them both separate at like beautiful points.
Yeah, and like even when you combine them, like you get the like really the standard like nudie shot of the girl in the woods, but at the same time you got the people back in the lab like getting jazzed up for it.
They got like all the guys there and they're like, guys, it's gonna happen here. All right, she showed them, get out, everyone get out of here, let the guys do us work. The comedy was good. It wasn't, none of these movies to me were like laugh out loud funny, which is, I think the point of a horror comedy movie.
Disagree.
What? Derek, did you?
This is the only one that I didn't laugh out loud at.
I was going to say, Tucker and Dale, I laughed pretty hard. But everything else, I kind of just stayed mellow with.
Okay, we're going to have to talk about that one next because I just didn't.
Well, I want to get Life After Beth out of the way because I know I'm going to be in hard defense mode on that one. Tucker and Dale, I'll definitely be defending hard as well.
Out of 10, what do you guys give Cabin in the Woods? This was a pretty good movie to me. I really like this one. I think I'm probably going to go with like a 8 or 8.5 on this.
I think I'm going to join you. I think I'm going to give it about an 8.5.
The only problems, besides the outside kind of questions that, just that aren't appeal to the movie, like we had talked about, I don't like that, they kept saying they're releasing pheromones to make these people act a certain way. The only one that really did any acting of the role they're supposed to play was Hemsworth and the chick. Mm-hmm. The other guy wasn't like a brain of any kind. The chick wasn't, I don't know, doing anything. He was
a smart guy.
Doing anything.
But they had to get those two out of the way first. I think those two were like, I know the whore, I think, is the first to die. Yeah, she's supposed to be the first.
Yeah.
I think they were just trying to get those two maybe moving and grooving.
Because I don't think... And then I like how
what kind of pheromones are going to like make you like put on your thinking cap?
Yeah, they release in his room and he's like...
They just like flood the room. Oh, they flood the room with like Adderall fumes, and he's just like, "I got an idea."
Yeah,
Like, that was one
brain blast.
That was one thing I liked about
blueprint it right now
because they talked about like all the subtle different things they did. Like when she dyed her hair, they put in chemicals in her hair dye to make her like dumber. Make her judgment.
Weed saves the day, but ends the world at the same time.
Right?
Yeah, it was just a cool concept.
It was just really really cool how they did it, and like
see, they had a lot of control on like these outside aspects, and you're like, how? Like that. It's just one of the problems.
I like where you draw the line because like vampires and dragons and stuff are real, and you're like, but how do they manipulate those kids? Magic clearly exists in this universe.
Hey, vampires and dragons,
and they have control of all of it.
Yeah, when you watch an awesome movie with vampires and dragons, like The Hobbit or something, you don't care.
The Hobbit has vampires.
Has dragons.
Well, you said and anyway.
Well, there might be vampires.
Yeah, I don't know a movie that has both. I'm just saying
that would be an awesome
We're talking about a movie that has both.
Oh yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see
7.5
things.
Is my rating.
7.5.
I think we're gonna go 8.5 on this one.
Yeah, it's no surprise I'm gonna rank all these pretty high. I think I pretty much picked all these. I think you probably had a hand in picking Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, we busted Cabin and Slither.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't seen the other two.
Okay.
You and Nick talked about Tucker and Dale.
Yeah. Okay. So
Out of 10, Derek, what'd you...
8.5.
8.5? All right, so
Pretty solid.
we have given it... We got 2 8.5s. We got a 7.5. Overall, we think this is a very good movie to see. It's very creative. It's very,
It's very unique.
thinking. Yeah, very unique movie. Go see it. Check it out. It's got a unique
see
plot
it,
twist.
rent it, buy
Yeah.
it.
Go see it, buy it, share it.
Steal it. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's bad.
Download it illegally, legally. That's on you.
Pirate Bay, something like that.
Yeah, Pirate Bay, anything like that. That's up to you. Go see it. And so next, I think we'll dive into Wait, no, you wanted to said
I wanna do
you
Life
wanna do
After Beth.
Life
You
After
wanna lie
Beth.
about Beth?
I'll be the first to say, man,
The
I
rom-com horror comedy.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I really don't see why you didn't. I mean, I kind of had a feeling you weren't going to like it, but I don't see what there is not to like about it.
Okay, I didn't think it was very funny at all. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't care for Dane DeHaan in almost anything he does. Didn't like him in Spider-Man 2. Really didn't care for him in Lawless.
I didn't see Lawless. I didn't like
Lawless was a
I
good
didn't
one.
like the Spider-Man anyway.
Yeah, Spider-Man. He was all right in Chronicle, but that's like your first intro
He
to
was
him, and you're
great
like,
in Chronicle.
yeah, you're like, oh my god, this kid I don't know is all of a sudden playing this wicked dude, and it's really cool. But I don't care for Dane DeHaan. Who's the main chick? What's her name?
Aubrey
Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. To me, she's kind of the same character in every movie she's in. Like, she's always that chick from Parks and Recs to me. Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
and it just doesn't appeal to me in this movie. I liked John C. Reilly. I liked Matthew Gray Gubler, his older brother.
God, his brother was
That was awesome.
fucker.
You all right?
I liked...
Fly flew into my mouth. Sorry, sinners. Like directly into my mouth.
I watched it happen. It was kind of terrifying.
I did like that this was not just a single event. Like, it happened... it was going on all over...
That's one of the things I really love is that it's a slow descent into madness. Like, so essentially, Beth, the main chick in the movie, dies in the very first scene.
Yeah.
She's walking in the woods. She gets bit by a snake, and
See, I didn't remember that happened, so...
well, you don't see that. They mention it later that she got bit by a snake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because all you see of her is like walking in the woods.
And
playing
then
on
you
her
see the main character at the grocery store buying napkins for the funeral. They don't have black napkins. He
Right.
suggests they go to a party store. Real somber scene, And then obviously the main character's grieving. The dad is grieving. So they kind of connect over that. Like, it was his girlfriend that
They start
died.
doing some bonding,
Yeah, they were
hanging
playing
out.
some chess, some late night chess, smoked a doobie, hanging out, bro stuff. And so you can tell they're kind of getting close. And then the next attempt he has to go and hang out with the family, they won't answer the door. So it seems like they're shutting him out. He's kind of confused, He still needs someone to bond to kind of like get over the death of his girlfriend, obviously.
And his dad and mom don't really... Like, at this point, they're still kind of like, why are you grieving? Like, geez, look, we know it sucks. Can you just get
They're
over
very
it?
disconnected parents.
Yeah, and his brother is kind of a fucktard.
Yes.
Matthew Gray Gubler, who I love, by the way.
Seems like he's kind of got like some PTSD, but I don't think he's ever been to war.
I didn't even think he was a real cop in the movie. Like, I
No,
thought
he's
he was
not.
just...
He's a security.
I thought he was just wearing something.
Yeah. You thought he was just...
like a brother that doesn't work, but he's wearing this thing, trying to think he's cool and hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, he is.
He works security
or
for the
whatever, yeah.
neighborhood.
Right.
It's like a gated community.
But yeah, go on with the story because, like I said, they.
So he can't get a hold of the dad or whatever, and eventually he kind of sneaks around the house and sees that Beth is alive in the house. And his immediate thought is she played this elaborate joke on him to break up with him. And because, what do you think? Your girlfriend dies, you bond with her dad, and then she's back alive.
Yeah.
Like,
You have a funeral and everything.
yeah, what do you think? So obviously he gets into the house, sees Beth sees him, and you kind of find out that she just showed back up one day. And she doesn't remember dying. She is obsessed with addicts now. She keeps talking about a test that she has to take. Like, I got to study for my test tomorrow. And she doesn't realize it's summer. She kind of becomes like almost hypersexualized. She's constantly trying to like
Yeah.
make out with what's his name and
Like serious PDA in front of like your family and friends and basically everyone else that you're around.
and the dad and the mom kind of go along with everything in exchange for the boyfriend not telling Beth that she's dead.
And not taking her out into the world. She has to
Yes.
stay within the house.
Yeah. Like don't they tell her, no, don't go outside during the day. It's not safe,
Yeah. Yeah.
Go at night where it's safe.
Yeah. You didn't think any of that was funny?
I didn't care for a lot of this. Derek, did you? I didn't.
Personally, it was that kind of like weird, awkward type comedy to me. Like it just seemed kind of like, oh, that's kind of an awkward moment there. But for the most part, like there was parts of it that I liked. I thought was pretty funny. Most of the characters and actors that were in it, I liked and enjoyed. But it's just like the overall tone of it. I was just like, God, this movie's so weird. It was unique for sure. I'll give it that. But.
Well, it plays on how weird it would be if like someone just came back. So she comes back to life and he can't tell people about it, but he kind of does tell people about it and no one believes him.
He's telling everyone about it and no one believes
Well, only
him.
his family.
Well, he tells everybody at first, and then he kind of, once he realizes that she's like,
He takes John C. Reilly's advice and
Yeah.
he doesn't look to give Horst in the mouth,
Right.
And, he's trying to come to grips with this. He really wants to tell Beth, and she kind of just gets a little more violent, and like he kind of sings her a song and she freaks out and blows up like a lifeguard stand. And she's,
Yeah, she does.
she gets freaked out when she's alone. So like he like put her in the car, and as he goes to walk around the car, she gets freaked out from being alone and busts the window out. And like the only thing that'll like calm her down is smooth jazz.
Yeah, which is weird too. And I hate jazz music, so
Oh, that's so.
You
so
go with the rest
instantly
of the
I
cast
was
of the
like
film.
crazy.
I was like, why
Jazz
did you
is
choose
great.
jazz? No. Oh my gosh.
What?
I hated listening to the bits she listened to in the movie.
What?
I am not a jazz fan. Like I was just like, oh, you choose the most boring music on the planet. Like you couldn't choose like some house music or something.
It's not
Come on,
boring.
now.
It's soothing. That's why they play it in elevators and.
I don't like it in elevators either. I would get out of the elevator and take the stairs.
Moving on from jazz music. Clearly everything's not all right. The parents are in denial, You slowly start to notice other people show up, like the mailman started delivering again, and he'd been dead forever. Not forever.
And then
obviously.
you see that he like really can't drive his car.
He can't drive his
It's
car.
like
He
all over the road.
He just hands him like a bunch of random mail that's not even his mail.
Yeah.
So they kind of have a sense of going through the motions when they first come back. They can't really tell. I mean, obviously these people would be more decomposed by then.
Yeah.
They have
Which they really didn't
the
notice.
homeowners of their house, the first ones that had died, come back. Like they're decayed. They are,
Yeah.
a
Aged
little
and stuff.
worm eaten.
What are you doing in my house?
Yeah.
This is
and
my house, my attic.
Their dead grandpa comes back.
Yeah.
I did like that it showed kind of a more, I want to say world aspect, but local, more than just their incidents. So I liked that. Like I said, I liked a few of the casting. I didn't find it funny. I was hard for me to stay involved with the plot. Dane DeHaan doesn't do anything for me, so I was, just.
I think he did really good at playing like the
Conflicted boyfriend.
conflicted and then relieved but skeptical, and then like I wish he would just stay dead already. And then like kind of like interested in Anna Kendrick. I feel like the progression of the movie, in my opinion, was really good.
I liked his
Anna-
character for sure.
Anna Kendrick.
Dane DeHaan.
Gorgeous.
you
yeah.
said?
I like.
You like? Thank
Andy
you.
Dion.
I, thought
I
he was
like his
good.
character. His character,
And I thought,
to
John,
me, is just
I
like.
thought John C. Reilly was hilarious.
Yeah, it's John C. Reilly, the guy's older brother, Matthew Gray Gubler. Dane DeHaan had a few interactions with his brother, which was kind of funny. But other than that,
Yeah, I
was
like when he like comes in the room and he's like, "Shut my door." So,
He's like, "Are you fucking a scarf or what?"
are you fucking your scarf?
Yeah, he's like, "You're fucking your scarf."
This is my dead girlfriend's
This is my
scarf.
dead girlfriend's scarf.
Do you know what that feels like?
Yeah, there was some funny stuff. Anna Kendrick was nice to look at.
Always beautiful.
She's always nice to look at. Well, we were talking about her on the musical one. She is.
And her and Aubrey Plaza recently did a movie that we reviewed on the podcast. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
That was them. Yeah, that was both of them.
That was their second time together.
So yeah,
least
it just wasn't.
Wasn't for you.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it just wasn't for me. Maybe not a bad
Senators,
movie.
let us know why Chris is wrong.
Maybe not a bad movie. It just was not my taste. I didn't.
So, Senators, if you got good taste in horror comedies, check out Life After Beth. We're gonna do ratings.
Out of 10,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go first because I'm still calculating mine.
7. It was the lowest of the week for me. So
You give it a 7?
yeah, I really like this movie.
I'm
I've
gonna
watched
give
it. I've watched it several times.
I was gonna say I think I'm gonna give it about a 6.5.
That's okay.
I was giving it like a 6. So
That's not bad. You know,
And
six is on the positive.
yeah.
5 and lower usually.
And take this with every critic is different. Obviously, like I said, it's not that this was a bad movie. It just wasn't for me. So my personal taste, I'm giving it a 6. I didn't find it funny. The acting was here and there with the main guys, and I just didn't care for them that much. But you liked this. You said this is.
I really liked it. I think it's a unique movie. I think in the same way that I think all these movies are very unique and very interesting. Like,
Yeah.
the reason I
can
picked
agree
these
with
is
that.
because, like, if we look at them, we got Slither, which is maybe the least unique, but it's a very funny and very well done. Alien takes over the whole town.
almost more sci-fi. Sci-fi
Yeah, it's got a
appeal
sci-fi
to
aspect to
than
it.
the rest of these.
And then you got Cabin in the Woods, which is extremely meta and like on the nose of like, this is a horror movie and we know it's a horror movie, and here's kind of some of the stuff behind horror movies and like.
we're gonna throw a horror cliche at you, but
And then
also
you got
it's,
the rom-com zombie done well. Sorry, Warm Bodies. And then we got Tucker versus Evil, which is so good. So it's meta as well, but in such a fun way. Do you guys? Which one did you want to go to next?
we can talk about Tucker and Dale. That's fine.
All right, let's do Tucker and Dale
Like,
because
I
this is on my top 10 favorite movies.
I was not.
I cannot watch this movie without laughing hysterically.
I probably laughed 1 or 2 parts.
That doesn't make sense.
Which is
That
it
doesn't
saddens
compute.
me
Really?
because I had extremely high expectations for this movie. Everyone talks about how funny this movie is, and I don't know if I just pumped myself up so much because I was like, dude, Alan Tudyk,
Which one's he?
the thin one,
Tucker.
the blind guy, Tucker. It is Tucker.
Yep.
He's awesome. He's the man in almost everything he does.
He was hilarious in this.
I've only seen the other guy in Zack and Mary Make a Porno. When they're filming their
Yeah.
porno at the coffee shop, he's the guy
Bucket,
like stumbles
Jugged,
and drunk.
Football.
Yeah.
He's in a Hulu original series, Deadbeat. He is in a TV show that I think Kevin Smith was either a producer or a director on, Reaper. If either of you watched that,
I have no idea.
it's a really good show. Really good. He's Someone Married Barry. He's been in a lot of stuff, and like because of Dale and Tucker and Reaper, that's the only reason like I've sought out those movies. Is because,
Right. This guy was in it.
Yeah, I think they're man.
I don't even
See,
remember.
I
don't even remember the ending.
I'm
to this
trying
movie.
really hard not to be offended because this is so funny to me. This is like so close to my heart.
I watched and I waited and I just didn't.
Their
no laugh
chemistry
came.
is so good. They're going. So essentially, it's about 2 hillbillies who get a vacation home in the woods.
And it looked kind of like the Cabin in the Woods.
To me,
It has a Cabin in the Woods type look to it.
Yes. Yeah, obviously. I mean, they all kind of have the same look. But, so it's hilarious that, they've got a cabin in the woods, and it's not a cabin, it's their vacation home. And they sunk every penny they have into it, and they get to it, and it's run down, and it's dilapidated.
dusty. Yeah.
And they're just so excited about it. And he's like, what do you call this?
He's like,
a fixer-upper?
I cannot believe I'm staying in my vacation home.
Yeah.
Like, and you're just
That's
like, what?
that's so
Yeah.
hilarious.
I just.
And the fun. Okay, so I'm getting all flustered because I want to explain this right. They come in contact with some college kids, and the college kids right away are just creeped out by these hillbillies in the woods. That they've obviously seen horror movies and heard stories. So like, and when you actually see them through the college kids' perspective, you see why they think they're creepy a little bit. Like you can understand it.
Yeah.
But you love these characters so much because they have such good chemistry. They're such sweethearts. They're really just nice people.
The fact that it's through more of their point of view than the college kids helps sell it as a comedy.
Yeah, I heard there's like a version somebody cut. I don't know if it was like an official cut, but I think someone cut out all of their solo parts, and so you only get the college kids' point of view, which would be interesting to watch. I think.
I think it would be, yeah.
But they're such sweethearts. They're just like best friends, and they got this vacation home, and you're just like, yeah, this is a happy time for them.
They play well off each other.
Yes, they have very good chemistry, and so the college kids decide to go swimming while the hillbillies are fishing, Tucker and Dale, and they see one of the girls, Allison's her name in the movie.
Yeah.
She's also in 30 Rock. If you've ever watched that,
She is Ostreicher's girlfriend in American Reunion. I think is that her? That like she's got that platinum blonde hair.
Maybe.
I'm fairly certain that's her.
I don't know, she's gorgeous.
Right.
So you see her, and she's like getting undressed, and she's about to go swimming.
She's on top of a rock, like about to like jump in or something.
And she notices what happened because
Dale and Tucker
was
are
watching.
They're fishing a little bit of ways away.
Tucker's kind of getting a good look.
Tucker's watching.
And Dale's trying to be a gentleman.
Yeah, he has his eyes covered. Like he's like, oh no, I can't. Yeah, this feels wrong, Tucker. You know.
Yeah.
And they one of them he yells something.
Tucker, and
Dale's
she
like, Tucker!
slips and she falls.
And
Doesn't come back up.
And Tucker's like, Dale, when you see a half-naked woman, don't yell my name.
Yeah.
So
they paddle over there. They save her.
yeah, because she's not coming up.
Yeah, she must hit her head.
Dale
or
just
something.
like dives straight in to find her, pulls her up into the boat. The college kids see them pulling her out of the water.
Right.
And Tucker stands up, hey, we got your friend.
Right.
And the college kids freak out because they think, because
That she's
from
being
their point of
kidnapped.
view, she's getting kidnapped by the scary hillbillies that they ran into
Yeah.
at the gas station.
What?
So
what
the
makes-
whole movie is a giant misunderstanding.
just an ungodly poor timing on the college kids.
Yeah.
Like, sweet Jesus.
Yes. Oh,
Like
my
they're
God.
always
Those
like
poor
just out of
bastards.
earshot or just out of far enough away from out of eyesight to where it's like, oh, you can't tell what's going on now.
And really, they're just trying to do a good thing.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be good guys. They're trying to
Yeah.
fix up their vacation home, take care of this girl that got hurt, and get her back to her friends. And you kind of find out that the main college kid is very...
Asshole-ish.
Very
he's an asshole,
anti-hillbilly.
and he's very anti-hillbilly. You find out a little bit about his parents, like his father got killed by this hillbilly in the same woods. So he kind of led them into the woods, I think, to kind of get some weird kind of revenge.
Like that chick on VHS.
Yes.
Sort of, yeah. That's what I kind
I-
of started taking from it.
Okay, like honestly, between these two movies, I don't remember much of these two movies at all. Like that's how almost uninterested I was in these movies. So the part of his comeback, because he has a knife or machete or gun or
He has
something.
an axe.
Oh, okay, maybe you're right. See, that's how I knew he had a weapon. I knew it was a
He's
single
got an
hand.
axe, and he's
Single-handed weapon.
gung ho to like take these.
He is the
hillbillies
only
down.
one out of their group of five, and they're kind of like five side character actors. Like that one chick is in Final Destination 3. She gets cooked alive in the.
I've seen
Yeah,
the guy,
the
the black guy
Slither.
with the dreads. I've
the
seen,
black guy was a Power Ranger.
He was.
He was a Power
Well, I've
Ranger.
also he was in. It was in a mini series, Harper's Island. Did anyone
Oh,
see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, you're right. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I remember that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good show.
He's got some credits. A lot of them have a lot of like B movie credits.
He's not.
Sadly.
He's a B or a C actor for sure.
So's the main guy. I've seen him in some shit, and I feel like he's one of those that always plays a doucher.
Yeah.
Like-
College douche.
Who is that guy that's in the first Transformers? In that Van Winkle?
Oh, Travis Van Winkle.
Yeah, his little brother. He's in the new Friday 13th.
Yeah.
Where you're born to play a fucking asshole, dude. And
Yeah.
you're really good at it. I give you props.
I like the dude
Yeah.
that ran from the bees.
He,
I thought
Yeah,
he was
like the
pretty funny.
one
he was the only
unjockey
one.
kid.
Yeah.
He was the only one that was like making the most sense out of all of them.
He was like, they might not be serial killers, you know.
he's like, look at that dungeon. He's like, it's just a cabin.
Yeah. So they kind of go to rescue her from the hillbillies. And the first guy goes up, and it's the guy we were just talking about. And while he's coming up, Tucker is sawing into a log. And you see, kind of a side view of the log, and he saws right into a
Hornet's nest.
hornet's nest. And as he does that, all the hornets come out, and he starts running like a bat out of hell, and he's swinging his chainsaw around. And it's got this cool effect where the smoke's coming off the chainsaw, so it looks like he's just like a crazy
Like,
hillbilly with
yeah.
a chainsaw chasing this kid down. So the kid doesn't realize that there's hornets, so he thinks he's being chased. He's running full speed, and he looks sideways to look at the hillbilly and gets impaled by a branch sticking out of the tree. So total misunderstanding,
Yeah, yeah.
The kid dies. The college kids come up, obviously think that he's been murdered.
This was the work of the hillbilly.
And they just start freaking out more. So everything that happens kind of builds on everything that happened before.
Now,
Well, I was gonna say I like the part where when they put him in the boat and the jockey douche college kid comes up and he's
Our
like,
main
go ahead,
doucher.
go ahead and tell him what you saw. And that one guy that took the
Yeah.
vehicle over there, he's like, they're eating her face. I was just like, what?
So you can see how like they're
everything's
So
misconstrued.
yeah, so they're so I guess they're so like taken back by like I guess the hillbilliness of them that they're like They just like completely overlook like the simple things, and it's just like they're getting worked up. They're getting all their stuff in a twirl basically over nothing, and it just ends up working out poorly for them.
Yeah.
Very poorly.
Now, I don't remember, like I said, the ending. How many of the main people live?
Well, let's get to that because we still got a lot of college kids left alive.
Yeah.
I remember someone else dies.
There's a big cluster where 2 of them die. They run up and they're trying to ambush the hillbillies while they're
one dives into
head
the tree,
first.
the tree compactor, the tree,
The tree trimmer.
the tree trimmer. Yeah. Oh, that was funny. It's one of those like, oh, drop this thing, like
Wood
bends
chipper.
down.
Wood
Wood
chipper.
chipper. That's
Wood
what
chipper,
we're looking for.
yeah.
So he runs up and tries to tackle Dale.
Like full on leaves. He's in midair. Like
Yeah.
leaves the ground sideways, going to spear Dale.
No.
No, Tucker.
Tucker.
He doesn't try to spear him. He's trying to tackle
No,
him.
spear as like a when you tackle.
Well, the other
someone,
kid
spear,
tries
not
to
like-
spear Dale. That's why I
Okay,
made the
yeah,
distinction.
you're right. He tries to like full on football tackle this guy. Tucker bends down, like I said, almost one of those.
He goes
like,
to pick up a
"Oh,
log
man," yeah.
because he's just
and he just
clearing some brush.
right over him into the wood chipper. That was pretty funny. He's
like-
pulling, trying to pull the legs.
He's got a hole in his legs, and
And I
it's just
think
like squirting blood in the face
one
of
of the
another college
one of the
kid.
college kids sees it, and so obviously he thinks he's putting him in there.
Oh yeah, all you get is like the point of view, the angle
Right.
of him like stuffing his kid in there, and he's like really trying to get him out of it.
And this was like the 2-for-1. The other kid died by
He's running and he's trying to spear Dale
Dale.
because they see Dale and Allison digging the shitter hole.
oh, they're like he's making her dig her
He's
own
making her
grave.
dig her own grave, and he runs and tries to spear him, and the spear misses Dale, gets stuck in the ground, and then the college kid lands stomach first on the spear, and then like slowly inches his way down the spear until he's like face to face with Dale. And in the process, as he was trying to tackle him, Dale spins around, knocks her in the head with the shovel.
Yeah, that's right.
So knocks her out for the second time this movie. I feel like it happens one more time.
He's hit her a couple times on
Like
accident.
even at the end of the movie, he like gives her a helmet as a present because she keeps knocking her head so much.
A cop comes, right? And the three of the college kids are in the
Cop
back
car.
seat.
Yes.
Yeah. The cop pulls up. They see I'm having trouble. Oh, he goes in. He talks to him outside, and the kids are like,
Good evening, officer.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
And
had
so
we've had a doozy of a day.
the cop goes inside, and the kid's like, "What are they doing? Oh my God, he's going inside. He's leaving inside here." And
Why are they arresting him?
The cop dies.
yeah,
Well,
they
I don't remember
when they first get to the cabin, Dale and Tucker, they like end up hitting like I guess like a supporting beam.
Yeah, they knocked down a beam.
Oh,
and
that's right.
And that little board thing, like Final Destination style, comes out and like with nails and almost hits him. Well,
the cop comes
after
in.
They
the
even
cop
mention it again because Allison almost
hits her head.
Yeah.
almost backs her chair into it.
Yeah, so the cop comes inside, and he goes like almost one of those like, I'm gonna lean against this pole and talk to you, and then
Yep.
like pole slides, board with nails comes down through the face, he dies.
Yeah, he
He
stumbles
outside bleeding, so the kids are like, oh my God,
They got him.
Doesn't he
Nobody's
even
got him.
he grabs the radio to make a call and like falls over and dies.
Yeah.
And then one of
after
the-
this is a blur to me. I don't remember.
there's a college kid that was in the front seat. That was the one who originally
Went and got the
cop. And then he comes back, grabs
The gun.
the gun out of his holster, walks up to like Dale and them. And
I
starts
always forget
pointing
about
at
this
him.
part every time I watch it because I've watched it several times, and I'm like, how does that kid die? So he's got the gun,
And he's
trying to shoot at Dale.
Dale, and then Dale's like, "Oh, you have the safety on. You got to."
Dale's just so kind-hearted; he doesn't
Yeah.
realize if he tells this kid the safety's on, he's going to shoot him. You know?
Yeah, and he's just like, "Yeah, take the safety off. It's on the side." So the kid's like feeling around, but he's like one of those noob, like
Never
people with a
like,
gun
pointing the barrel
yeah,
towards
right at
his
his
face. Yeah.
and it goes off and kills him, and everybody's like, freaking out, and Dale's like, "Oh my God!"
So
It's just- it gets-
so Dale and Tucker assume it's some kind of suicide pact.
yeah,
That's
they're
right.
like they're scared shitless of these college kids because they think the college kids are trying to kill themselves and Allison and them.
Right. And so there's 2 or 3 college kids
I
left.
think there's 3 that were in the back seat.
Yeah,
of
the
the
3
car.
that were in the
Black
back
kid,
seat. I
blonde
know.
girl, and douchebag.
Well,
no,
and the
4.
dark haired girl.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
Well,
college kids.
Well, the douchebag kid, I think, was still messing around in the woods or something.
Yeah,
Like,
because
he hang back for
he was so excited, to get the chance to live.
Yeah, that's right.
He gets
what
all
happens
jacked
to
up.
what happens to them? I don't remember what happens to the rest of.
So they
the
So Dale and Tucker are out doing something, and the college kids kind of sneak into the cabin, and they're like, "Hey, Allison, let's get out of here. And she's like, why are you whispering? Because Allison has just been having a fine time. You know, they've been super accommodating to her, super nice.
He cooks her like a bunch of pancakes, and she
doesn't want.
Yeah, she reacts.
She does.
She right when she wakes up,
out.
so she freaks out.
She doesn't know where she is. It's the first time.
So he's like,
she's
"Oh, okay."
met Dale
Takes
and
Matt,
Tucker.
cooks her up some bacon and eggs. You know, like some
He's
quality breakfast stuff here.
He's like, you don't like pancakes? Oh, she don't like pancakes. Oh,
Yeah.
I hope she
So
likes.
they're super hospitable. So you said the guy. Oh, okay. I kind
They
of
kind
remember
of
this part.
sneak back in, and she's like, "Why are you whispering?" And they're like, "She's like, no one's here." And they come in, they're like, "We're getting you out of here." And she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" So right here is like the first opportunity for like someone to be like, "Hey, this is a misunderstanding."
Right.
And she tells them, you know, they have been nothing but gentlemen to me, and you know, typical college kid in a psychology class. You know, I heard about this in my psychology class. Stockholm syndrome, where you like you sympathize with your captor, and he's like, the douche is like, "You're falling in love with these guys," and gets real defensive because he likes her.
Yeah, she's already kind of turned him down once.
Yeah,
Or twice.
Turned down an advanced move, you know, kind of once or twice earlier in the movie.
So Dale and Tucker show back up, and like true to like superhero fashion, Dale's like, "Are they bugging you? Are they trying to hurt you, Allie?" Because you know, he's trying to take care of her because he's obviously been, you know, just taking care of her the whole time, and so she wants to be a therapist, so she kind of sits him down and gets him to talk it out. You know, well, how are you feeling? And you know, at that point, the two other college kids show up and think that Dale and Tucker have taken them hostage. So they bust in, guns blazing, and
Something happens. Like they bust in and I think they make a scene. They're like, "What are you doing here?" And then basically something.
the chick catches on fire. Oh no, dude catches on fire.
Which dude?
Black guy catches on fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Not the black
And then they go
because of the douche bag guy.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So he does something but misses, and it catches the black guy on fire. And then the girl grabs a jar of has to be
Like moonshine or something.
And Dale's like, "No, don't use that!" And she throws the moonshine on him, which like makes him like light on fire more. And he's running around lighting the whole place on fire.
Right.
Somehow the chick dies. The
Well,
blonde
the chick goes to light a cigarette next to a bunch of like flammable stuff at the same time the rest of the cabin's burning down.
Yeah,
So
so-
she gets blown to bits.
We skipped over a part where the college kids took the dog hostage,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and they had like a shootout with a
With a
nail
nail
gun,
gun.
which was a really good scene. So anyway, the cabin blows up, and then the rest of the movie could have been trimmed down a little bit because you know you get a lot of backstory on the douche college kid. You find out that his dad was not killed by the hillbillies. The dad was one of the hillbillies, raped his mom. The mom had the kid, got committed to a psychiatric ward, so he's part hillbilly.
No.
Yeah, and she tells him that, and it's like I thought that was a funny line too.
You're half
Hillbilly or
half
something.
hillbilly.
Yeah.
That towards the end, like at the very end, that's where I started to lose it. I was like, man, this is really starting to.
It was a little bit too much
Yeah, but the rest of it was
because you
just
get
hilarious.
Harvey Dent over there gets half his face burned off, and he's
Yeah.
still
trying to mac on the girl.
Tucker and Dale live?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Tucker gets hurt pretty bad though. He gets
Tucker
like,
loses
loses
two fingers.
fingers. Gets like I'm assuming chopped, I guess, in the chest or whatever. Because like Dale wakes up after wrecking the wrecking the truck, trying to escape.
Right.
And he like wakes up later and Allison's gone, and that's when Tucker's like, yeah, he took her, and then he's like sitting there bleeding in the woods, but he lives, which is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't thinking back on it. Some of it's a little funny, I guess. I just watching this, I was like, not feeling it. Like I said, which made me sad. Alan Tudyk is a funny guy.
I think it was more not really so much the college kids. I mean, they were funny. Their reactions, some of the stuff they were saying were funny, but like it was just the reactions of Tucker and Dale that was like the best.
They're
Genuine reactions to just like all the chaos
yeah.
happening around
The college
them.
kids aren't great, but they're supposed to be not great.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be stupid.
Like they were almost supposed to be acting movie college kids, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, typical college kids.
Yeah.
I think everyone played their roles really well. Like I said, you like fall in love with Dale and Tucker. Apparently, a sequel is supposed to be.
Somewhere.
It's in talks. I don't know how you would do a sequel to this. I almost would just like a different movie with them in it, you know?
Right, like Tucker and Dale do something else, or
So okay, that kind of leaves it open. Like when you first watch the movie, it opens up with that news lady and her cameraman going into the cabin after it burned down or whatever because they think they're gonna solve the freaking case or some junk, and then they get assumingly attacked by, Harvey Two-Face douchebag college kid.
I thought he got killed in the end.
See, and that's what I thought. But then you see him in the very beginning, and I was like, "Who the hell is that
Wait,
person?"
what?
And in the
beginning?
very beginning of Tucker,
See, I thought
and
that
Dale,
was his dad.
Was
but I don't know. Now that you mention it, he did kind of have the Harvey Dent already.
Yeah, and that was another thing too. The
Two-Face.
girl, and the cameraman show up at the very end when they just arrived there.
So, yeah,
and then they come back. So I mean, I had to see it again, but I was like, wait, so he lives, and you showed us this in the beginning. So I was kind of like, well, thanks
like a
for ruining
foreshadow
it,
of
but-
like what's to come, like the outcome, kind of.
Well, the way they opened it up, it almost seemed kind of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like where they had like real amateur, like black and white footage, But
I would definitely see a sequel.
I would too. I'd like to see it. I think it'd be awesome.
I don't know. Maybe this is one of those I have to sit through a second time in order to like get the laughs out.
Yeah, you're the only person I've ever showed it to.
I know. That's
didn't
why I was
love
like,
it.
damn it, I hate to be like, why did I have to have the one where I was like, fuck, man.
I was gonna say for the longest time that's the reason why I didn't watch this movie because I thought it was gonna be bad. But I watched it and I was like, dude, this movie's hilarious. How come I didn't watch it sooner?
Yeah, everyone else says it's awesome, and I'm over here like,
If you want to do scores, I'm ready.
God, I don't know, man. I'm gonna give this one like I said, thinking back on it now was pretty funny. What did I give
6.
Life After Beth? I gave it a 6. I think I'm probably giving this one like a 6.5 for me, man. It just was not.
Really?
It has some funny moments, but
I think I'm gonna give it an 8. It was like it blew my expectations out of the water.
Well, I'm good.
Further than I thought it
I'm
would
glad
be.
to hear that. Like I said, it's on my 10 favorite movies of all time list. I'm giving it a 10.
you gonna give this one a 10? Solid 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. There's not one time that I've watched this movie where I wasn't thoroughly entertained,
Right.
start to finish.
Yeah.
There's so many just like lines that they drop where I just lose it.
There's a few funny lines. There's a few funny sequences. Like I said, Tucker and Dale are everything you'd want to love about a character. The funny, goofy, and it's how they are that makes them that way. Like the accent, like
They do great.
Dale,
Yeah.
Tucker.
Yeah.
Like the southernness, the hickness to it. I didn't find it funny. It just was not. I had a hard time kind of following this one too as well. Like I'd find myself playing with my phone, and I'm like, I gotta stay in tune. But I don't know. That's just me, Sinner. So far, it just seems like it's just me. So
All right, let's move on to
jumping into our last film
Yes.
we covered this week, Slither.
Slither, one of my favorites.
This is one of James Gunn's earlier films. We got Michael Rooker, Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks. I'm trying to think who else was a part of this movie. I think those are probably the 3.
Those are the big heavy hitters.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
You have a bunch of, I guess, low guys.
yeah. a lot
the
of
girl from
supporting
The
cast.
Office.
Ooh, yeah, she's in
I
it.
can't remember. I don't know her name.
The
I say
old-
like I can't remember her name, but I've never
Who
known
plays
her.
the mayor?
Oh,
He's in a lot of
The
stuff.
mayor. Oh, he is so good. He's my favorite.
the mayor is funny.
Get out of the way.
What he's saying, where's the Mr. Pibb? I told your secretary it's the only cola I like.
I do like that one. He's like, get out of the way, you cocksucker.
Yeah.
And he like looks
you
over
doing,
that chick
Mayor?
on the sidewalk with her kid, and she's like, "Hey,
Morning,
doing,
Mayor."
And
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, hey,
How you folks doing?
And then like he's just like, you win some, lose some,
Yeah.
Fuck
He's just
it.
like, I don't care. I'm the mayor.
Yeah, he's like,
I can
fuck
do
it.
whatever I want.
Goes back to yelling at the guy or whatever. So basic plot of this movie, it almost starts off kind of like the thing. I don't know if that's what I was thinking of. Oh no, I'm thinking of that one from Creepshow with Stephen King and like the meteor comes.
Oh, yeah.
So you see this meteor
Greg
hurling.
Henry is the
Greg Henry.
mayor.
I don't know what else he's been in, but
He's
a funny guy.
He's done quite a bit of stuff, but
I don't. He's one of those that I don't know what he's been, but I know I see him all the time.
meteors hurling towards Earth. It crash lands, and I don't know, outside this small kind of rinky-dink town. Michael Rooker is in the woods. Okay, so so Michael Rooker is
Grant.
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 I don't know what he does professionally. He's married to Elizabeth Banks, who is a school teacher.
he's successful for whatever.
They
the
are
hell he
successful.
does.
They have a
So,
nice
I mean, they have
house,
a nice
nice
house.
well-kept lawn, rich neighborhood.
Yeah, they mentioned it early on. Like she fell for him when she was real young, and he was an older guy with money who could take care of her.
Yeah, and he kind of has that appeal, like where it's like he's the guy that like when he comes home, he wants dinner made. When he wants to do something, he's gonna do it.
Yeah. He's the boss.
Very
Applesauce.
boss, very man of the house.
He doesn't like other guys talking to his woman.
Right.
Yeah.
What's his is his.
Yeah.
And you should do what he says. Otherwise
But
he gets mad.
he can go, flirt with another girl that he used to babysit.
Right, yeah. So him and Elizabeth Banks are in bed one night. She turns down his sexual advances. He gets up and storms off to this other lady's house.
Where you going? For a walk?
Yeah, one of those stories. The woman and him.
No, he goes to the bar.
Yeah,
He goes to a bar,
They get drunk. They go out in the woods and they kind of start fooling around. And he's a gentleman after the first 15 seconds of making out. And he's like, "Wait, I got a wife and she worries about me and I should get home." And as he's talking, he sees this weird egg-looking meteorite thing on the ground. It's broken out, and he's like, "Oh man, it's got a slimy path. We should follow it." Like said every movie,
Classic
said every
horror.
guy who wants to fucking die in the woods ever. So he follows it, and they see this. It looks like a pale Ditto from freaking Pokemon.
Yeah,
slugging along
essentially.
on the ground, and he's prodding it with the stick. After the girl's like, "No, we shouldn't touch it.
Let's get away from
Jeez,
it, yeah.
God, how many signs do you need, man? God." And this thing, like,
Well,
the
it wasn't
back
hair.
opens up, and like this little, I don't know, like a barb thing kind of like points
A
out.
little sticky worm.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't say sticky as
It's-
in like mud.
was gonna say-
like sticky as in like a stick, like a pointy, needly.
Yeah, like a poison barb.
Yeah. It just.
And he's like, "What the hell?" And it shoots it at him right kind of like in the
in the
diaphragm.
skull.
Steve Irwin's him, like right
Yeah.
into his chest.
It goes into his body, and he falls on the ground, and we get this kind of cool X-ray shot of him where you see this thing move throughout his body, works its way up and attaches it to his brain. And then you don't find out what else happens to the little slimy thing, because you see it just still sliming along. I don't know if it's got more of those things, less of those things, just
I
wither
think
off
that
and
was
die.
because I think that little barb was like the main.
I think that was
so
the
this
main
thing
parasite.
just probably
That-
slithers off and dies.
Yeah.
Slithers.
It's
See
probably-
that-
In all
see
likelihood.
that pun there? Slithered off there. Yeah, see what I did there, guys? Sinners comment on my awesomeness. And so this guy goes back to town, and over the next few days, he's got tummy grumbling. He's really weird. He starts acting really weird. He starts collecting a bunch of meat.
He starts getting hungry.
Yeah.
And he like goes to the supermarket and like
Buys just
give me a
raw
couple
meat.
steaks, and then he's just like, nah, throw a couple more steaks on
better
there.
make it 10.
No, give me all your
You
fucking
know what?
meat.
Give me 14
Yeah.
ribeyes or whatever he says.
He starts going nuts, and he's like, "Man, what are you doing? Having some kind of party?" And then, like the next scene, you see him. He's like opening his tailgate to his truck, and it's just like
full of raw meat.
full of raw meat.
And then like a bunch of dogs and animals start disappearing. And he's locked this one room in his house with not a deadbolt, like a padlock type.
Yeah,
padlock.
almost like a padlock.
Wife's wondering what's up. You find out throughout the movie.
Well, she shouldn't be questioning about that padlock so close to her birthday.
Yeah, she's like, "It's 2 months away," and he's like, "That's
That's
close.
close.
And he's like, "No, it's not." And he's like, "It's a matter of opinion. Let's go upstairs and get frisky again." So he leaves the house that night. It's been a few days. He leaves the house that night after he's been acting weird. He goes back to the chick's house that was with him in the woods, who told him not to touch that shit. And like he tears open his shirt. Yeah, kind of.
I'm assuming.
Tears open his shirt, and his hole where this thing
Went to his
attacked him,
chest.
like 2 tentacles come out,
Yeah.
like latch onto her. Like
And I
her,
thought that was really awesome. I love the slug-looking,
Yeah,
monsterish tendencies.
I
and-
loved the effects of he had. Like I like this movie a lot.
Yeah.
This and Cabin in the Woods just blew the other two out of the water for me.
Definitely great.
Yeah, definitely.
This
great.
is
So
this
he
is the,
impregnates-
this is second place for me for sure.
He's like sitting there, and it looks like he's transferring stuff into her.
Yeah, he's
but
almost.
I wasn't sure if stuff was coming out.
And you
or
got to
stuff
get
was
both.
going in.
You find out later you got to get both of those tentacles in to impregnate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
it was. So he was just filling her up with the slugs, right?
something like that.
No, I think he was maybe eggs or something. Maybe he was like one was the eggs and one was the sperm or whatever. But
Yeah.
he's impregnating her.
And then she gets huge.
She
Yeah.
plumps up. Like
Yeah.
she gets as big as the barn that
Yeah,
he
like
stashes her
three
in.
days later, she bigger than Violet Beauregard in friggin' Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, if she
Way
was a
bigger than
blueberry, this
Yeah.
chick was a watermelon.
Yeah, it was.
yeah. She's taking up the whole barn that
Nice
that
size
he has like
comparison.
chained her in. She's like eating dead
She's
animals,
so hungry.
meat.
It's really weird because he has that pinned down in his house. Is that just for him?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Like his whole little home base. Because I think he wanted to get his wife pregnant.
He was going to get his wife pregnant
then-
until the power of love. took
Yeah,
over.
like he was kind of like, oh, I love her. I can't obviously
can't do
do what
this
I'm
to her.
about to do to her.
Yeah.
To her.
So, and you kind of find out that this thing has been to other planets and it's taken over other planets. You kind of see glimpses of like a rat world, kind of where like they take over whatever is on the planet and spread through the population, take over it, and then move to the next planet. So you're meant to assume that they're going to do this on Earth. So they take over the first human, and it's probably feeling all these emotions and stuff that humans feel that he's never felt before. Not that like we're better than aliens. Maybe they have a different form of emotions. We didn't really get the backstory on the other
Right,
planets.
yeah.
But he gets these emotions from humans, finds out he loves this woman and what love means, and he decides that, he's going to save her, and he's not going to kill her like he's going to kill everybody else.
He'd just kill everyone else, and if she dies in the process, well,
And
it wasn't directly him.
yeah.
No.
Well, they share consciousness. So
Yeah.
whenever a slug takes over a human, they share consciousness with the main thing. It's like a hive mind.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right? So none of them are going to hurt her because they're all the same person. They're all Grant at this point.
There's a lot of cool shots in this movie. I love the bathtub shot, like the aerial view, and like
You see
the
the
girl's
little
kind of like
slugs.
laying down there, listening to music or doing whatever she's doing, maybe just chilling
Ignoring
for a
her
minute.
mom.
Yeah,
Ignoring her
her
a bath.
and you see the thing kind of like pop up above water, like right between her legs, like
And it's
and like
wagging its tail and like
swerving
splashing through
towards
the
her.
water.
A lot of cool shots.
I love when
You see Michael Rooker, in his like deformed, weird slug state, when they're all waiting for him to pop out and take that cow.
Yeah.
Like Nathan Fillion is the sheriff, and he kind of has a group of like 5 or 6 dudes, probably like 3 cops and 2 guys that are like, I get to shoot something, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're all in this field, hiding behind stuff, waiting for this thing, Michael Rooker, to come out and take animals, like apparently he's been doing the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts.
Well, they've tracked the other farms that he's been to. So
Yeah,
they
so
know-
they're anticipating him to show up here, and they see this giant slug creature thing with like
squid. They kept referring to
Yeah,
it
they
as,
did say squid. That was right.
You
He's
get
like
you touch some
sliming-
deer feces.
He's
and
like
you make a sandwich without washing your hands. You get your Lyme disease,
Get your Lyme disease.
and that makes you look like a squid.
Yeah, as this thing shows up to take this cow, they're all kind of like, "What the fuck? Like this
Yeah.
is not what we signed up for." No one fires anything.
Whips one of
was
his
gonna say
tentacles
Oh yeah,
and cuts the guy in half.
Yeah, like splits him. Like,
Yeah.
I've just seen him like slice the throat of that cow or
Uh-huh.
chop his head right off or whatever. And Elizabeth Banks, throughout the whole movie, I got to give her credit. She's like, "Look, we fix you. We come back home. I'm still loving you. I'm still with you, honey." Like,
Yeah, she's
and
still
you're-
very supportive.
Yeah, she's not at one point
And-
like,
and
"Look,
you-
he's not my husband anymore. Fuck that."
He tried to kill me, but yeah.
Yeah,
she's totally for
She's a
it.
faithful wife, and you got to give her credit.
Nathan
Yeah.
Fillion's been like carrying a torch for her since like high school.
Yeah, apparently he is. She is his Felicia Day from Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog.
Yes.
So
Great movie, same director as Cabin in the Woods, right?
this movie here,
No.
Slither. Oh, Dr. Horrible.
Dr. Horrible. And
Well,
Cabin
same
in the Woods.
writer.
Really?
Joss Whedon didn't direct Cabin in the Woods.
He didn't.
No.
he just
Who
wrote
did?
it.
Oh.
Drew Goddard.
Oh.
He was
old
behind
Drew.
Marvel's
He'll get it
Daredevil. He wrote Cloverfield.
Yeah, and that's why Sigourney Weaver was in Cabin in the Woods. They worked together on Alien Resurrection.
That's right. Yeah.
He wrote the script, and I think she was a producer.
So they chase this giant monster thing back to like an abandoned
That they go back to the
barn warehouse. It's like a barn in the woods,
Yeah.
and then
You find out he
this,
led them
this
to the
blueberry watermelon chick who is just expanded. She like starts like
Rumbling.
rumbling, yeah,
Yeah.
like literally rumbling, and like she like just explodes, and all these other little slug things come out that get in through your mouth.
barn. Yes, they try to climb into your mouth and take over your body.
Right, and so they get what goes on. They get some of the town.
They get 2 of the cops.
They get 2 of the cops, and I think maybe
like
one,
3.
one of the
They got like
hands.
everyone else with them, minus
Except
the girl
for-
cop.
Minus
And-
the girl cop, the mayor.
Oh, yeah. The
Nathan
girl cop,
Fillion,
mayor.
and
Yeah, the
Elizabeth
mayor
Banks.
made it out,
Yeah.
which he just kind of knew to cover his mouth. Oh well, I guess they're going for it. I guess you're gonna.
What the hell kind of thing wants you to eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And I don't remember. So what? They get a few more of the townies. What happens?
It starts to go to like the
I
other
love
farms,
when they
I
go.
think.
So, like you were talking about that bathtub shot. I love when it gets that family, and they're all trying to get in the truck, and Nathan Fillion shows up, and they're like, you don't look so good, and he's like, oh, a bit of poison ivy out back, and the little kids, we're itchy, And they're all, trying to get to her, it's family fun day, I love that scene. I think it's great. And yeah, so it takes over a little bit of the town. I think it gets a deer attack.
Yeah, it even gets a deer.
I don't remember the very ending. I was
so
they had. I don't remember the ending of this one.
Well, one of the things I really liked is that they all, once they take over the humans come back to Grant and like fuse with him.
Yeah,
and I thought the special effects for that was really good.
That was really cool. That was a cool effect. Just the whole fact that they're coming back and like fusing with this already grotesque.
Yeah.
It's like the Thing from the Thing movies.
But thingier.
Yeah. But thingier. Yeah. It's just not tearing open and like, getting all weird and shit. This Thing and the Thing should have like a versus movie. If they ever do, like.
It'd be right up there next to the
Jason,
Fog and
they're
the
like
Mist.
Slither versus Thing. Oh, Fog versus Mist. Oh, God, that'd be epic. That's just like. That's what they should do.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You have John Carpenter's Fog,
Yes,
not that
yes,
shitty remake.
not the new one.
That was
Not
awful.
Crappy one.
Yeah, Tom Welling.
And no Thomas Jane crying.
So they get to, everyone kind of converges at the house, the main house, Grant's house. And the chick, what's her name?
The main chick?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks.
Starla is what
Starla
Starla
is
is.
her name,
Elizabeth Banks, Starla, kind of pretends like she's still in love with him so she can get close enough to stab him, which, what a bad plan.
Oh, yeah. What she
one-
had to stab when she was using
A hairbrush.
a hairbrush.
Yeah.
A hairbrush against that giant thing.
Yeah. So
Well, you sinners, you know what to use in the zombie apocalypse. Hairbrush.
hairbrushes.
Very effective.
Torture redneck zombies. Not regular zombies. There's a difference.
Yeah, there is a
So-
difference.
Nathan shows up and kind of Grant gets one tentacle in him out of two to
Right.
impregnate him. And he uses the other one, hooks it up to a propane tank, fills it up, and then has Elizabeth Banks shoot Grant, which I think they proved this wrong on Mythbusters, but it ignites the propane inside Grant and explodes.
Didn't he have a grenade somewhere too?
He had a grenade and he threw it and it got knocked. And then
That's
they
right.
Oh,
had
did he
to-
get it
got
from the
knocked- it
police
went to the
station?
pool.
Yeah.
He went back and got
Yeah,
it.
so they had to
Because they
throw
mentioned that earlier, like, well, should I grab this grenade for...
Yeah.
And I don't know what his
For Grant.
excuse was.
Because they go in there, because I think it's when they go to get Grant, they go in there and there's like, they have like this big ass arsenal, and like the mayor says something. He's like, well, I didn't know the Ruskies were invading. Like, and he's like, well, you saw this fucking guy. You wish they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point he's like, if this turns out to be a mountain lion, we're going to look like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, we're going to make a bunch of jackasses.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was... The mayor was funny.
What happened to him too? I don't remember. I know he gets.
He ends up in that pit with the other people. You remember, like in the basement?
Yeah, I know he's down there eating, but I don't know how he got captured. Did he get captured when they went to?
I don't remember.
Damn,
I do not
I don't remember either. But all I know is
It
that
was
he,
okay because he was there in the car complaining about the Mr. Pig.
Yeah.
And then when he went in to get the grenade, the mayor was already gone. So I think it was after. Didn't they
Had to
crash
be
the
around
car
that
or
time.
something?
I
I feel like they crashed the car.
think they did.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they got those
Because
guys
they were
came out
talking
more.
to what's her name at the station, and they were driving, and he's like, "We're sending something your way,"
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the car hits them, and then they're all trying to get out. Mayor gets taken.
Oh, that's right.
Nathan Fillion takes the girl, and she saves him from the deer while he gets the grenade.
Because
Right.
Elizabeth Banks and the mayor.
Then
get
they
back
go to the
Grant's
house,
Okay.
and then he blows up Grant.
Michael Rooker. And all the little sluggies die as well, right?
Yeah,
They-
Yeah,
but you
'cause
take it
it-
because you take out the head vampire and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
dies.
of course.
Yeah.
All the little... Gotcha. Yeah, this was a solid movie. I liked the effects of this. I think there's probably one or a few CGI scenes. I think him slithering through the field, like I said, when they first
I thought it was
see
fun.
him.
I thought it was cool that they made him fast, so at least he wasn't like.
Yeah. I'm not knocking the CGI at all.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that they went with a more practical effect on a lot of this, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I really.
I was gonna say when I first saw the trailer for this movie, obviously it was like by the producers of like Dawn of the Dead, so I was like, oh, cool. And then it even had very zombie-like aspects to it. When I first watched it,
It's a very zombie movie.
yeah, very
Town
much
getting
so.
Yeah.
Converted,
And-
taken over, infected, if you will.
Yeah, and
Zombie, slug, aliens.
then when
Aliens
when I
like
watched it, it was more alien related, and I was like, dude, this is so good. Like
Yeah.
it was a pretty cool concept. And I think I mentioned to you this before, but Slither to me is, I wouldn't say a knockoff, but they definitely have a heavy influence from an 80s movie called Night of the Creeps.
Okay.
Which-
I thought you were going to say Dreamcatcher.
No, God, no.
I said this is better than Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher, the book was good.
The book was really good. The
I'm
movie not so much.
I didn't like the movie either.
Yeah, no, saying this was better than Dreamcatcher
Yeah,
to
for
me.
sure.
So,
But in that, it's similar. Like these alien slugs come out to like pretty much like this college town and start wreaking havoc. And this guy and this girl this nerd kid who likes this sorority girl, they hook up and they fight evil. I guess. Not with Tuck and Dale though.
not with
They're
Tucker
better.
and Dale.
They're
Not with
better.
Tucker and Dale.
But overall though, Slither is still really good. I really enjoyed
Really,
it.
really.
Did you have any issues with this movie?
Personally, not really. I thought it was really funny. I thought the cast was great. The story was great.
The bad guy was cool. Michael Rooker
Yeah.
is one of those. He can play a lot of different stuff, and he does really good at it. He's never your leading guy.
No.
Like he was a Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, but he was a fucking awesome Yondu.
Yeah.
he was in
He's,
that JFK movie with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, he
JFK.
plays.
He's
one of those
awesome
guys.
in that.
Yeah, he was really good in
He's
that
just
too.
awesome in everything he does.
He does a lot of good stuff.
He was just on something we watched. Oh, Mallrats. He was good in that.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and he plays this like he's good as like when before the Slither thing gets him. Do they ever call it a name? They should give it a name.
I don't think they ever did.
Graboids. That's what they'll call it.
they tried to kind of name it. They're like, he's like, oh, the damn Martians are invading or whatever, and he's like, they're not Martians, they're not from Mars, and he's like, it's the terminology.
Yeah,
Get up, cocksucker.
he's good at like that, like husband that wants everything done, and then turn around just being like creepy and like silent.
He could
and
he could be sinister. If he
yeah,
wanted
he
to.
can. And obviously he was Merle on The Walking Dead, so we know he can do crazy. Just an overall awesome choice for the bad guy, and Nathan Fillion, who doesn't do enough.
He's really great.
Everyone loves him in the small stuff he's in, but
Well,
you're
Joss
like, do
Whedon-
more.
Did Joss Whedon do Firefly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So Joss
yeah.
Whedon's the only one giving him these like awesome fucking roles.
Him and James Gunn, they work together like all.
Other than that, yeah, Fillion's like, I'm busy on Castle. And I'm like, no, dude, do some fucking movies.
Yeah,
I
do
think
some
Castle.
action,
Oh,
do some sci-fi.
Yeah,
he's
get out of
got a
here.
role
More.
in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah, he's supposed to play.
God damn, that's
Oh,
awesome.
who's that human? He's like that retired hero or whatever. God damn it. Yeah, I know.
Quasar? No.
No.
Whoever he is, I'm sure he's going to do.
I don't know.
Fantastic
We'll get
job.
back to on that
Yeah,
one.
we'll have to look it up.
Sinners, if you know his role in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, let us know. Because I know for sure he has a role in it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in it, but I don't know. He was in the first one too, in the first Guardians. He
Yeah,
was
like
the
a
one that.
voice of the dude Groot fucked up in prison, right?
Yeah, the guy who picked him up with his freaking
yeah,
nose.
he was
like-
that voice. That was funny.
Yeah.
Groot knows how to handle himself in a prison fight. What can you say, I guess?
Groot's a big fucking tree.
I heard it's Baby Groot in Volume 2.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is
unfortunately.
It's not the. It's not. I don't think he'll have
I don't-
those
he's not in-
memories.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think he's not like in the pod either. I don't think. I think he's like he has legs and stuff. He's just real tiny. Everything that I've seen him in.
Yeah,
That's kind of interesting.
yeah. You get like a silent Groot character in the first one. The second one, turn around and it's him as like a kid.
You guys ever
almost,
see
whatever.
Super?
I've not
I
seen
haven't,
Super, but I've heard it's
but-
cool. I've heard it's
It's cool.
Unique.
It's strange.
it is
Yeah.
strange. That's what I've heard.
I'm not a huge fan. I think it was coming out kind of at the same time as Kick-Ass, and it's similar to Kick-Ass. Obviously,
Yeah, Kick-Ass just seemed like it got the spotlight over.
and
this
Kick-Ass
one.
was better, honestly. But I do like it. Not as much as Slither, and definitely not as much as Guardians.
Guardians is a hard one. To
Guardians-
Guardians
to
might
me-
have made it onto my top 10. I can't remember.
If Guardians wasn't a Marvel movie, I would still enjoy the shit out of it because it's like a good sci-fi movie.
yes,
Top. It
it's
is a
great.
cool sci-fi movie.
James Gunn, keep it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely James Gunn. I wasn't super into you before Guardians came out. Actually, I'd only seen Slither. And actually, I think I've only seen Slither outside of Guardians. But those two movies have changed my opinion on you. So nothing but good things
And
coming
his
from
cast too. His cast is always really cool.
Yeah,
he always has a really good.
He always
cast.
pulls a few like people from like all over the cinema world,
Yeah,
and
very
like
much so.
like you're just like
He even
oh,
has Rob
man,
Zombie, I think, in 3 of his films.
That's awesome.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think Scranton's showing 31 this month. I might go check it out.
Yeah, I think it comes out at the end of the month, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's the only place I know of around
Yeah.
here that's going to be screening.
Right, right.
I did want to
31.
mention before we wrap it up. Did I show you the trailer for Neon Demon?
Is that the one that already came out?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that one.
Yes. I was really excited for it. Same director of Drive and Only God Forgives.
Right.
And Bronson, which I haven't seen.
Oh, who did? He did Bronson.
Yeah.
No wonder that movie was weird.
Yeah.
Not saying that
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's
So-
movies are bad, but
So Drive was amazing. I was so inspired when I saw Drive that I immediately rented Only God Forgives, which I didn't like. And then this one I was so excited for. Like, the internet was like going crazy about it.
Yeah, it was a buzz about it, man.
Because it's beautiful. It's beautifully shot. I did watch Neon Demon, and it's such a beautiful movie. Like, it's so beautifully shot. And don't mistake this as me recommending it, because it is a cut and dry case of style over substance.
Really?
Nothing fucking happens in this movie. It's 2 hours of just Elle Fanning's pretty and everyone's jealous. That's the whole movie. There's like a slight horror element at the end, but there's like no foreshadowing to it. There's no build up to it. I watched kind of like a clip of an interview with Elle Fanning, and she talks about how they filmed it chronologically, and throughout the whole filming, he would like throw out scenes like, oh, we don't need this, throughout the ending, and then kind of was like, okay, what should the ending be? And was like asking people on set, and she kind of pitched it as like, oh, he's such a visionary. He just like, he's got this way where he just like does things, and it's like, no, he wrote a terrible movie throughout the ending and then asked the cast and crew. That's why this movie wasn't good, because you didn't know what you were doing. You had a vision, and it was stunning. It was beautifully shot. But that's,
that's not
I won't ever watch it again, because it was boring, man. It was a very boring movie.
Well, I've not seen either of those movies.
And I was very, very excited to watch it.
Neither have I, but I know of them, and I do want to see Drive, and I think...
Drive is amazing. I do want to see Bronson. I've never seen Bronson.
It's interesting.
I like weird. As long as there's some story.
I think it's going to be a different... It's going to be a different style than maybe you're used to, because it's definitely... It's out there. It's really
good. It is.
Have you Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer or something? Does that ring a bell?
I know of it, yeah, because that has Michael Rooker in it.
It does. That's why I think they're playing that at Screenland this month as well.
Dude, Michael Rooker's he's the man, dude.
I think that was like one of his. That was like the thing that got him started too.
Yeah, they're playing lots of old horror movies at Screenland. We're gonna go see Phantasm tomorrow, I think.
Check it out. So Sinners, like I said, I think out of 10, did we already go around the table with Slither? What did we?
9.5 for me.
9.5 for you.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
You gonna give it a 9? I think I'm gonna give this one probably like an 8. I think as well. Yeah, I think my rankings will go in order with exactly what Tyler said.
No, I was
Cabin in the Woods.
I thought you would have liked Dale and Tucker better. Tucker and Dale better.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. No, yeah, me and Derek were spot on here. Cabin in the Woods at the top for us, Slither, then Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, and then at the bottom was Life After Beth. Obviously, there's a lot more horror movies out there, Sinners.
These are just horror
comedies. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I really wanted to stay away from like a haunted house and scary movie.
Yeah, I don't like those spoof ones.
I didn't want spoofs. I wanted horror with comedy.
If we ever do horror comedy again, I don't know if you've seen Death Becomes Her.
I have not.
Yes.
Robert Zemeckis.
I'll let you guys choose.
Oh, dude, it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'll let you guys choose so I can shit on your favorites.
There's it won't happen.
Yeah, you ain't gonna shit.
You know what? I'm pretty open-minded, so I'll probably like them.
You probably like them.
I think.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
one I really wanted to do, Dead and Breakfast. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's a zombie movie. There's like singing and dancing in it. It's real goofy. I almost don't think you'll like it. And then Idle Hands was the other one I really wanted to do.
I was going to say,
Idle Hands. You like Idle Hands?
I have Idle Hands.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What's that old Peter Jackson horror movie with the zombies and the guy gets like a mower? Are you talking about Dead
Alive?
Dead Alive. Oh, that
or Brain Dead or whatever damn country you're in.
Yeah, we got to do that one. That's a funny one.
So we will.
I want to see that. I want to see. I guess would Frighteners be kind of a comedy, or is that strictly horror? Because I mean, it's pretty funny.
So I feel like horror and comedy go really well together. Like even next week, our topic is Scream.
Yes.
1 through 4.
And you could
Scream is a horror comedy.
It's so relatable, which is scary.
But it's not. I don't know. It just doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, I feel like it takes a sidestep from what we chose this week.
Maybe horror and comedy go well.
It's more horror than comedy, but
maybe they go together so well because you've got this high suspense, high tension situation, and like to break it up with comedy just makes it more digestible. Maybe?
Right.
Yeah, I think it keeps you intrigued in the film, I guess, especially if
you know what I mean. It lightens it up a little bit, so it's not just all doom and gloom.
Sinners, comment on a horror comedy that you like, maybe one we can do for a future episode, because there's definitely potential with this. I just think this week, I don't know, I might have had an off week. I wasn't on the ball. Life After Beth and Tucker and Dale didn't do it for me, but they did for my co-hosts here, so I can't completely knock them. Get out there, watch the movies, tell us what you think. As always, check out our website, www.cinamen.com.
CINAMEN.
That's a good little jingle. .com.
Patent it. It's yours.
Right. Cut, print, check the
Check the gate.
Yeah, check the gate. Exit line. So get out there and tell us what you think. If you like what we're doing, make sure to share it, like it, spread the word, spread the love. And as always, don't be a dick.
Support the podcast.